What's up, Bulldogs? All right, so I got an interesting question that I think applies to a lot of you because a lot of you are religious. I understand that a lot of you might be Christian or Muslim or have some kind of religious faith, but does that mean that you can't be an alpha male? I think it's kind of ridiculous to think that you can't be an alpha male just because you are religious. If you guys are just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique that you want, how to get the girls you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the Bulldog mindset. If that sounds like something that you are interested in, if you want to join us on this journey, if you want to become the best alpha male that you can, click that subscribe button and make sure you click the bell so you get notifications when the new videos come out. Also, if you haven't already taken the Bulldog quiz, I highly recommend that you do that so you can see where you stand in that alpha male ranking system. It's just, 10 questions that will tell you whether or not you are on your best path to success as a man or not, and give you some instructions on how to improve the various areas in your life if you're not quite meeting those standards. All right, so what I'm going to read you is a comment that I got on this YouTube video called the Manosphere, a complete guide. You can check out the video here or in the link if you want to see it. But he said here, "Hey John, any ideas on how a man can become alpha whilst still upholding their religious values? Being a Muslim and coming from a more conservative background / country, people don't tend to do PUA/dating, although the red pill ideas are helpful to know." Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so first of all, there's nothing wrong with being religious, okay, and having sort of conservative value system, because part of being an alpha male is basically having your own value system in life. Really, one of the biggest components that I would say that makes a man alpha is the idea that he believes what he believes, okay, and doesn't care what other people think about him, and uses his own judgment and guidance for his life. That is the most critical factor, okay? If you're a man like that, you're gonna have standards, okay? You're gonna have standards for women. You're gonna have behaviors that you will accept and behaviors that you won't accept, okay? And you're going to have what I would say is a low tolerance for bad behavior from women. In fact, I made a whole video on this. It's one of the most popular videos on my channel called Why Alpha Males Have a Low Tolerance for Women. Go ahead and check out that video. I really recommend that you watch that video next because it's going to give you a lot more background on this and tell you exactly how to apply this. There'll be a link in the description if you want to click that now, open it up in another window, and make sure that you watch that video because I'm going to go into detail in that video. Like I said, it's one of the most popular videos on the channel, so I think you'll find that useful. But let's talk about this today in terms of religious context, right? So, a lot of guys equate being an alpha male with a high lay count, okay? Now, if you're an alpha male, will you have the potential of having a high lay count? Of course, right? Because you are going to be a desirable man to women. All right, so you have the ability to do it, but it doesn't mean that you have to go out there and do pickup if you don't want to, okay? If you're very religious and you live in a conservative country where you can't really do that, it doesn't stop you from being an alpha male. In that case, what's really important is that you focus on the other aspects of your life. And in fact, just in general, right, I tell guys, don't focus on pickup and women and getting laid, right? A lot of the really good stuff that's come out of the red pill community is this idea of becoming a man of value, or the way that he puts it is to chase excellence, not women. And I totally agree with that. And I think that's really important, right? So as a man, okay, what you should be going after in life primarily is improving yourself, improving your status in the world, okay, primarily based on what you find to be valuable in life, not what other people do, right? That's the whole problem that we're having today, I would say, in society, is that so many of us, we are looking at other people and the world's value system to determine our worth, right? This is the whole idea of external validation. External validation is a really bad, dangerous trap that so many men fall into. You can go out and you can have a good time and you can have women and not be chasing external validation if you're doing it for the right reason, which is because you want to do it, okay? Because you enjoy it, not because it contributes to your feeling of self-worth. Now, if you're a guy that can't do those things, okay, maybe you're going to have a feeling of low self-worth because you know that you're afraid. Right? And if you feel like you're afraid to do something, if you have the fear, if you have, quote, social anxiety, you need to overcome that fear. Okay. And that's kind of a separate matter. Like I said, I've got a lot of videos on that topic on this channel. Go and search through them and you'll find it. You'll probably find some suggested videos that will come up after this that will talk about some of those things. All right. But if you are not going out and picking up women, if you're not doing pickup, then it doesn't matter, right? You're still going to apply the same exact principles as an alpha male in becoming the best version of yourself, which is going to be to figure out what it is that you want in life. Okay, having a lot of money does not necessarily make you successful. All right, being even a jacked, ripped guy does not necessarily make you successful. Right? If you're doing all those things to get validation from other people and approval from other people, it's not good. It's only going to make you feel even less worthy as a person, and is going to make you beta. Okay, so if you're religious, okay, what can you do? Well, you can work on improving yourself. Okay, you can work on figuring out what is your purpose in life and what is valuable and important to you, right? You're going to have your value system, and you need to weigh yourself in your own value system. This is a critical point. Okay, so again, a religious system is a value system. All right, so how do you operate in that religion, right? Can you be an alpha Christian guy? Let's say that. Yes, of course you can. All right, there's actually a really good book, I believe. I read it a while back ago called Wild at Heart, I believe that it's called. I remember that was a very good book for Christian men on becoming alpha. We'll put a link in the cards or in the description, and you can check out that book as well. But the key here is, like I said, is that you decide what it is that's important to you, and you have your standards and your value system, and that you live up to those things. So you should be constantly measuring yourself along your own value system, right? A lot of times people even say to me, John, why are you doing this? Why are you going to go run this 100-mile race? Why do you do these things? Like, you don't need to prove anything. You're already have accomplished so much. Don't go out and do these things. And my answer is, it's because I want to, right? Or they get upset when I get down on myself, when I'm what they perceive as being hard on myself. Okay. And I am hard on myself. But the reason why is because I'm not living up to my own value system. Okay. No one else gets to define that. By the world's definition of success, I'm successful. Okay. But by my definition of success, it depends on what I do that day. Okay. I don't just wake up and have the mantle of success, draped on my shoulders. Okay. Instead, I wake up and I'm worthless when I wake up in the morning, and I decide if I'm going to become a man of value and worth during that day. And that's how I evaluate myself. Now, my past history, the work that I've put in to develop myself, my character as a man, contributes to that. And there's like this base level that I operate at, okay, that makes things somewhat easier for me in the sense that I don't have to learn and teach myself these things. But still, every day, it's new. It's a new battle. I have to decide that day to be the best man that I can. And some days I fail on that, honestly. Some days that I look down on myself and I say, John, you did not do a good job today. You did not pass the test today, okay? But that is really the indication, right? So all the time I'm looking at my own system and what I believe is correct and what I believe is right, and I'm judging myself against that, okay? So it doesn't matter, like I said, if you're religious, if you're a Christian and you've got a value system and you truly believe your religion, okay, and there's certain things that you should or shouldn't do according to that religion, if you hold those values and you don't obey those values, okay, then you're not acting as an alpha. If you're a Muslim and you have certain values, right? Let's take something like Ramadan, right? Maybe you're struggling with Ramadan and you cheat on Ramadan, and you try to make it like you didn't cheat on Ramadan, okay? You would not be acting in an alpha way, all right, in regards to yourself, right? In regards to that religious system that you hold as a value for yourself. So the real key here, again, and if we could take this back to dealing with women, it doesn't matter whether or not you're doing pickup, whatever capacity that you're dealing with women, you should be holding the same kind of red pill truth. You should still be having your standards. Again, like I said, watch that video on why alpha males have a low tolerance for women. Watch that video, okay? So you can understand what it essentially means is that you're not going to tolerate BS from women just because you're getting some kind of value from them, right? You're going to have your own standards. And if you start focusing on your own value system and your own standards, then you're not going to get tempted to the external validation where you're going to compromise those values in order to get something like sex, or even if it's just a date or relationship with a woman, she's going to have to meet the standards that you have, okay? Again, it doesn't mean that you're a total jerk. It doesn't mean that you treat people poorly. It just means that they have to meet the standards that you have, and you have a certain standard for your own behavior in life, and that you hold to those standards, regardless of if it's not going to get you the thing that you want at a particular time, right? That's really what the key factor is. So absolutely, you can be alpha and you can be Muslim. Absolutely, you can be alpha and you can be Christian. Absolutely, you can be alpha and be Hindi, or whatever religion that you have. You can be a Buddhist alpha, okay? That one's probably a little bit more hard because it's a little bit more of a philosophical nature, okay? But the key is, like I said, is that you're holding to your value systems, and all of these things are still going to universally apply. It's not just about getting notch counts on your belt, guys. So one thing also, if you haven't already, and you want to join a group of other alpha men, click the button down below. There's a $7 trial for the Bulldog Mindset membership. I highly recommend that you check it out, at least join for a month and check it out and see that community. And you'll find we have a lot of guys in there that are Christian. We have a lot of guys that are in there that are Muslim, and you can ask the question. You can see how they're dealing with these things, how they're dealing with relationships and women. And, again, inside there, do I talk about things like how to get laid, how to do pickup? Of course I do, but you don't have to apply those things. You don't have to do any of those things. It doesn't, I'm not going to look down on you. No one's going to look down on you. You should be judging yourself and other men by their own value system and how they hold to that value system, not whether or not they agree with your value system. So that's it, guys. Talk to you next time.